Okay, well, I think people are not grasping as far as the concept of the situation with Chile is this whole political atmosphere and hold on America right now is a very sensitive topic. So when you have people that you kind of look up to because they are entertainers, they are our escape from all the foolishness, and you find out there's something that you have perceived all this time and you think, okay, they're not, it puts you on like a little like stand back moment. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of what's going on with the Chili situation. But we're gonna get into that in a minute. But before we do, remember everything I say is strictly entertainment purposes only. My opinion, that is it. Okay, so let's get into this real quick. It's been a lot of talk about Funky Dineva and how he was going in on Chili. I mean, even myself, I made a small post about Chili. Chili is a member of TLC group. We know from back in the day, one of our most iconic female groups, famous for Left Eye, T-Boz, Chili. I mean, right up there with Salt-n-Pepa. They like iconic female groups, right? So what happened, I know you all know, so we ain't gonna get all the way into it. Chili released this conspiracy theory that happened years ago when mad comments were being made that were not pleasant about our first lady at the time and always will be Michelle Obama. We love Michelle Obama. Okay. And I think when she released this, and I'm not going to give it any more life than it was not a good thing to do. So once Chili released that, it was released on her page, people started going in, going ham. Chili had to do a quick, no, let me get in here, image control, PR control. Let me put some ice on this situation. So she came forward and let me let you hear what she said.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button, and I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, I took that down, and, I would never post anything like that. I would never do something like that. That is not my character. I have supported the Obamas. I gave to the campaign, both runs, voted twice for him, and supported the organization that Michelle had in the schools for exercise for the kids. I would never do anything that's harmful or hateful to anybody. I'm just not wired like that. That's just not who I am. And when it comes to organizations that I have donated to, these are the things that support the veterans. I have always supported them, not just now, but for years. This is not something new. So I just wanted to let you guys know, this from me, that I would never do anything so disrespectful, and I would just never, I'm just not about hate or anything like that. If you look on my page and see my posts, it's all about love, faith, and connection. That's what I'm all about. And I've always been that way, and I will continue to be just that way. So I just want to thank you guys for, your love and your support, and just taking the time to listen to me right now. I really, really appreciate that. And I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, you got that, right? She's saying it was done in accident. She would never do anything to harm the Obamas or anyone. That's just not how she is. And I would tell you, I never saw Chilli like that. Chilli, it actually, I don't know her. Of course, no one does know her. We only know her from being on TV, entertaining, on stage, and that kind of thing. So none of us know her personally, but it's like she tried to do some damage control. What I don't get is I don't understand how she could have said, I mean, anybody can do something done in error. We should not have done it. We should not have done it. It was done in error. But does that really mean that it's something that you don't agree with? I mean, that's a whole nother situation. Because even though if she shared it, in order for us to even see it, in order for you to make a mistake showing it, it had to be something on your computer somewhere, because this happened a long time ago, years ago. So when it came out and she spoke on to try to do some damage control, people felt like she was trying to save face, because I guess it was or is, I don't know, but let me show you this.
What? Did you hear that? Did you hear this? What's going on out there? It's a lot of commotion. Did you guys ring our...
You see, she had a tour coming up. Now people are like, I want my money back. I don't want to support her. No, since she's not the Chilli we always thought her to be, because we always thought she was cool, real charismatic, can dance, being with Usher, just being a real cool girl, somebody who we could always relate to. I know I did. So when she came out and made the statement it was done in error, people was like, girl, stop. And like with the internet, anything you put out there, people can research it. People can research. If you put it on social media, like my husband always say, you out of order, because people can find it. Somebody gonna take a snap of that stuff. Somebody's gonna have a snap of it. Somebody's gonna get out there and make it real. Somebody can, right now they do have AI. They make things look real that's not real. We can't even determine what's real half the time these days. But when people see things, you have people that have nothing else to do. I mean, or they're bloggsters, or they are bloggers, or they podcast or whatever, and they want to go out there and search to make sure what you're saying is really true. So what happened? People went out searching and they found other evidence to solidify this wasn't done in error. She really believed this, because look at all the people she endorsed that are MAGA. So let you hear what Funky Dineva had to say. I understand his point. I understand his hostility about the situation. I really, really do. Listen to this.
Okay, so check it out. When the news broke that Chilli from TLC made several financial donations to Donald Trump or Donald Trump causes, I was somewhere looking like a confused dog, right? Because Chilli is one of those people, for the most part, she stays out of the way. We kind of really don't know what's going on with Chilli from day to day. She's relatively private, and I don't think she's on most people's radars. So to be quite honest, I did not have an idea of what her political views were one way or another, nor do I really care. Everyone has the right to support who they want to support, vote who they want to vote for, and donate wherever they want to donate. But what you don't have the right to do is get on the internet and try to play on people's intelligence and then expect them to still buy your concert tickets, right? So I'm having a hard time right now as a black man reconciling. Do I just blindly go along with Chilli's explanation and apology and, allow that to override my gut and my common sense? Or do I take a step back and do I look at the total picture? And the thing about it is, if you've got two functioning brain cells, there's no way you can overlook the total picture. So, singularly, you repost the Michelle Obama post with her looking like a man. Fine. We can explain that away. Okay. Taken singularly. The campaign contributions, even though they're in the teens, you say you didn't read the fine print. Maybe you didn't. If we take that singularly. But then there is the people who you follow on social media. You follow a lot of people who have that MAGA conservative ideology. And that's the bigger giveaway. That is the bigger giveaway. And it's like, Chilli, sis, it's not really looking good for you. It's not. And I think what's most hurtful is you playing in our face. Honestly and truthfully, I think it probably would have been in your best interest just to not say anything. It really would have been in your best interest to not have said anything. And I'm going to tell you, Salt-n-Pepa coming out and kind of speaking on your behalf, it didn't make things better either, because all that screamed to the general public is y'all is trying to salvage ticket sales for that tour between you, Salt-n-Pepa, and En Vogue. Salt should have never came out and said nothing, because that's really what it's giving. It's giving, my mortgage is backed up and grow. We really need this money, so we need to fix this. Chilli, when you take all of those things and look at them in total, it's telling a story, and it's a story inconsistent with that explanation that you've given us. Support who you want, be who you want to be, date who you want to date, but you don't get to play in our face. And nothing hurts more than knowing that you consciously, intentionally, and purposely hang out on that side of the cafeteria, but then you want our black money for your ticket sales. That's the part that hurts. We're not buying it, Chilli. It's a little disturbing to me to see this corner of the black delegation saying comments on social media like, y'all some dumbasses. I don't understand why y'all so mad with Chilli. She can support who she want to support. This is just dumb that y'all mad at her. It ain't nobody's business who she supports, so on and so forth. All things constant, in a normal situation, you'd probably be right. But at this point, people are upset because this man is actively causing harm that is impacting people's day-to-day lives. And that's the short of it. Families being ripped apart, complete industries going belly up as a result of his decisions, ICE hunting down brown people for the sport of it all. Cost of living is through the roof. And let's not forget to mention that we are in a pointless war right now. Oh, and the U.S. is insolvent and people ain't getting paid down to the TSA. There is a lot of harm that has happened very quickly to a lot of people. So when somebody has caused my family to be ripped apart, or somebody has caused me to not be able to pay my bills, and then I find out that you are in support of the person who has caused me harm, it's going to create upset. And we are at a point now where, honestly and truthfully, many Americans are so tired. A line has been drawn in the sand. And that line is either you with us over here who got a little bit of decency about ourselves, or you over there supporting this man who was causing harm. Because at this point in this man's presidency, there is no earthly way anybody can say he's doing a good job, and what he's doing is great for the country, and what he's doing has helped everybody, and the country is in the best shape it's ever been, and he's the greatest president ever. You just can't. Okay? Now, your ego and your pride, your ideology, or fear from being excommunicated from your social groups might keep you, from talking against him. It might keep you in support of him out loud. But deep down inside, any individual who can add 2 plus 2 knows y'all done fucked up. And that this man was not good for this country. And people are hurt. You don't get to cause me pain. You don't get to cause my family pain and then want to be my friend. It don't work like that. So that is why people are upset with this information for Chilli, for those of y'all who were slow in the back.
Okay? He wasn't feeling her reason. He wasn't feeling the rhyme. He wasn't feeling none of that. He felt like it was strictly damage control, that she was playing in our face, that she was just trying to make sure her tour didn't go down the drain, and that it's not true. So Salt stepped in and she made her comment. Let me let you read what this say. At the end of the day, Salt is basically telling her to keep her head up. People can say what they want to say, even if you try to come up, and this is a synopsis, even if you try to make it right, tell people what's really going on, people are still going to believe what they want to believe. So don't lose no sleep over it. But see, in my opinion, Salt needs to take several seats back. She should have never came up and said anything. She should have let the situation work its way out, because now you gonna cause people not to come to the concert. You know what I'm saying? I think the concert is really over. I don't know if it's true saying that it's been canceled, but it is circulating around the internet, and it could possibly be true. But to me, sometimes you got to know when to sit down and when to step up. This is my opinion about this whole situation. When it comes to artists, it comes to everyday people. You can't expect to be treated like a me or just this everyday person when you are a public figure. People support your brand. People support your talent. People support what you do, which means they're spending what? Their dollars that they can spend elsewhere. So when they think that you are in a certain position when it comes to a political stand, and my thing is there's no perfect political party. It's just not. My beliefs are my beliefs. I go behind the people who believe more like me. But the thing is, when the atmosphere, I think right now that MAGA has been putting out has been very strong and very aggressive and very negative in a lot of people's eyes. When you feel like a person that you're looking up to or you're spending your money behind is behind that situation, who are, in a sense, what people feel, and it's true, hurting people don't want to give you their money. Now, I was a fan. Now, I don't really know you like I thought I knew you. I don't really know you. I don't know what your character is, because when I can research and find stuff that validates the negativity that you put out that brought me to your table in the beginning, and then you saying one thing, and I'm like, maybe she did it in the error. But then I find out you donated money to a party that has been harmful, then I don't think people are happy. My biggest thing is this. And I could be wrong, but I feel like the Republicans and the MAGA, they're kind of like two different things. But it seems like it's kind of been joined now because of all the hostility right now. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or whatever you are. You just have to learn how to treat people fairly. You can't just be about the things that you want and total disregard other people, because everybody does not have the same opportunity. I don't care what people say and how they try to make it look. People do not have the same opportunity. I'm an educated woman, but you can't tell me if I go in for an interview and I have this other woman, Caucasian or whoever, going to an interview, and we going equally with the same resume, that the chances of this other woman getting the job is not greater. It is. It just is. You can't change that overnight, but it is. And I think what makes everyone upset is because people try to put blinders on as if that does not really exist. And to be quite honest, it does exist. And it's a lot of hurt there. It's a lot of pain there. So I think it's bigger than the Republican, the Trump, all this stuff. Because I always say when Trump first came into office the second time, I was like, boy, they better be careful. But some of the things I felt like he was all right with up front. But then he started going all the way in from like a dictator. And that's when I was like, come on now, hold up, pump your brakes. You know what I'm saying? And so now with all the things that have escalated, the wars, the treatment that ICE was giving people, people are looking like, how can you support this? This is inhumane. This is not fair. And if you're a person that supports this, then should I be giving you my money to help support it? That's the big picture. Should I be giving you my money? I heard Funky say, no, you cannot believe and be on whatever side you want it on. It's not like that, but it really is. You can be on whoever side you want to. People are individuals. People have their own mind. You can't call people out because they don't believe and think like you think. That's crazy. Everybody has their own mind and their own opinion. I don't really care. People can be Republican, Democrat, whatever they want to be, independent, whatever they want to be, but you have to treat people right. There's a lot of pain behind this. And I don't think people have felt the pain that they feel now. So that's the big thing behind Chilli. The point is, who are you really? Do we really know Chilli? Like we thought we knew her. We always saw her as our homegirl, the girl next door, the one who can dance, the one who brought the soul, the flavor into the whole TLC group. She the one who danced just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's how I always saw Chilli. I always saw her as the girl that brought the flavor to the group. You understand what I'm saying? And when you think flavor in our terms, we thinking soul. We thinking, we feel something different. And then when you kind of find out that there's another mindset there, and it's okay to have that mindset, but then my thing is, you as the person with the mindset got to deal with the fallout of your mindset. You cannot expect people to come and spend their money with you, and now they feeling like, okay, this here ain't what it is. This ain't the time it is. And I think because people are not grasping that the way the internet works now is that people can find out anything. You say one thing, you better have your I's dotted and your T's crossed because they going to go search. If it's there, they going to find it. So do I think she was wrong for posting this? Was it something that could have been on her computer and she shared it? Possibly. It was on her computer. Me, myself, that is not even something I would save. I wouldn't share that. If I was reading it, it would have been something that had came across and I would be off it because we all know that there's no truth in that. There was just a very insultful picture that was shared and it was terrible because we all know it's not true. And for someone to support that is a brown girl. I don't care if there's a little bit more to her because you can look at her and tell she's not, like most of us are not 100% pure. Most of us have some mixture in us anyway, whatever it might be, okay? So when you look at her hair and things, she's brown in skin color, but that there's probably a little more mix up in her, whatever it might be. But you still relate it to her. You understand what I'm saying? And then when you have people like Salt stepping in, giving her 2 cents, that don't make it no better. To me, just hush. Keep your comments to yourself. Let some stuff, like take the Oprah approach. Let stuff die down. Let stuff work its way out. Let her PR people step in if she has any and work it out. So I get the way people feel. I was stunned. I was totally thrown off by it. I'm like, why would she do that? In an atmosphere so volatile is right now. People are hurting. People are starving. People have children that involved in war right now that most people think that is senseless, even though some people try to validate it. It's not the time. If your career is behind the average person working everyday jobs and supporting you because they're a fan, you better take the Cardi B side. Cardi B, she make her money, but Cardi B let you know just where she stands. She let you know just where she stands. She didn't take the Nicki Minaj stand. She took the stand of people that are her fans. You know what I'm saying? And yes, you are right. You can stand on any side you want to stand on. But listen, you got to take the fallout. Take it to the chin and my bad. You understand what I'm saying? Because admit it and roll with it. But to be honest, something like this, if you admit it or deny, at the end of the day, it's still a career sabotage. And like a lot of this stuff roll off, but it's gonna take a little time because it impacts the legacy of a person who you've seen so many years at the hierarchy of their career all the way to now, and then they come and they do something. This is almost like Hulk Hogan. I was telling my husband when Hulk Hogan was in the pretty much all his life, nobody seen him that really knew him as anything but being a wrestler and never had no negativity that really you heard, even though people feel a certain way. Like I say, playing the cards, you know, he never voiced that he was what he was when he passed away towards the end. It messed his whole career up, his little political stand and talking all his life. People seen him as just a muscular wrestler and the children loved. But when he passed away, his whole legacy was blurred. And I don't think people want that. All I want to say is, Chilli, I would let this die down. You made your comment. Let people decide to do what they're going to do with it and let it ride. I really think you probably need to reschedule this tour because I don't think it's going to come out like you want because you got a lot of people right now in their feelings. And you know what? With good reason, because I would tell you I'm one of those people that are stunned. So anyway, drop a comment. Make sure you like my channel. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the button. It's really easy. It's not that difficult. And share. Let me know what you think. Peace out.